right? Nice and fun. Right, but you guys see behind it, right? Look, like there's nothing downstream, right? So if you ended up out of the boat there, all right, it's a little bit lower water and you flip that boat, everybody in the water is just laughing. You know, they're like, oh my God, that was amazing. After they finally breathe.
You know, last time I got out on, you were up here on the GoPro. Because you see all the waves and stuff.
Yeah.
The next one get out on, that'd be good.
Right, so this upper new section, right? Technically that's what we're in, the upper new. Everything's a rapid pool river down here. So that means that after every rapid we'll have a pool. Just depends on, you know, some pools are longer than others. As we get closer down in the gorge, those pools will get a lot, you know, a lot smaller, with a lot less time in between the rapids, and those rapids will get bigger too. Right, so I promise we'll have a bigger second half of our day.
Cool.
Right, especially because we're at 12,000 CFS, right? Usually around that, we call that about 7 feet. Usually around, you know, September, what's today? September 5th or something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually around the 5th of September, we have 2,000 or 3,000 cubic feet per second, right? So we have literally like 4 times more water than we usually do, which is like a treat. Like we're not gonna be having to like dodge every piss me off rock ever. We're gonna be hitting big fun waves.
And more speed, you're saying it.
Yeah,
how many
it's gonna be
right now today?
Right, yeah, like it'll be bigger waves, right? Some of those waves are meaty, right? And it's cool, like we're right at that water level where some different lines open up, right? So depending on the water level at the bottom, we might be able to hit this line called Bonsai, right? You get this sweet drop that gives you like that, you know, your stomach's in your chest, you know?
Yep.
But then you go straight up into this huge crashing wave that's huge, and it's so much fun. Then we also have $1 Million Wave, which is, it's a roller coaster wave train, kind of like that, but bigger, right? You have this one steep drop of like, oh, we're still going. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, let's go 3 forward for me.
Yeah, it seems like whenever I come, we get the good stuff.
That's good.
Right, yeah. Maybe you're the good luck charm, right? You know how you have those people that go to sports games and they just always are the ones that are like, oh, we're losing. Like, yeah, that's because of you, right? But Jacob, because you came, we have high water. So I do thank you. Makes my day a little bit more fun, right? Instead of just being like, oh, we hit a rock again.
Yep.
Right, sometimes you have to do what we call popcorning, right? That just means that everybody's just bouncing on the boat.
Oh, yeah.
Is this thing a little loose, or is that right?
So it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, right. They don't, if you tighten those up super tight, all it does is pull that PFD up on you. And that way, right, we want it to sit low so you float high.
Got it. So how thick are these woods that going through there? Is there a lot there? People, do they? Some people.
Actually,
hiking?
right here, a little bit further down, there's a little boat ramp. There is some camping here. We're almost at Kennard, which is where those like half-day trips put in.
Okay.
So there's actually a road that comes all the way down to here, and there's a couple campsites and a trail that you can kind of hike up to some of these open areas.
Okay.
So not super remote, but on this right side, it's definitely a lot more remote than on the left.
Yeah, so the trip we took 30 plus years ago was with the Rivermen. And I remember when we were done, Ralph, is this correct? We were done with the trip, and at that time we had to take all our gear and hike up through a trail. I mean, they didn't have any restaurants or it was just camping. It was just tent camp. But we had to take all our gear up to this top.
And yeah, long time ago, they didn't really even care. It was just like, we're going rafting. It's not convenient, but we're gonna go. Right now it's cool. Like, I'm definitely glad I'm rafting nowadays. One, because back in the 90s too, they like, it was like, let's trash people and just flip after swim and everything. And it's so much more like, there's so many people that don't come rafting anymore because they were 20, they were 21, going rafting, and they're like, we got trashed. Like, I'm not taking my kids there. Because now everybody that's 2020, that was 21, has a kid.
Yeah.
That is of age to go rafting now.
Right.
So, like, the past couple years, like, have gone down in rafting business because of that.
I'll be darned.
Right? But kind of that mindset kind of changed in like 2005, 2006. And people started like, you know, now it's like, cool, we want to go big, but we want to stay upright while we go big.
Exactly.
And more people have a lot more fun. So you get a lot more people that, you know, more of that generation that has those younger kids right now that really, really love rafting. So that'll be cool in 10 years, you know, when those 6-year-olds are 16 that really just want to send it all the time.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be cool in 10 years to get all of those kids that did come rafting like when I first started, and now they're just like, yeah, we want to keep going. Right? Try to keep rafting business alive.
Yep.
Well,
Absolutely.
the facilities from, you know, again, back in that day, like Bernie said, we were tent camping. They had, I mean, they had a little shelter, you know, you could hang out underneath. But, you know, now, again, like damn water parks and bike rides, I mean, they got everything.
Oh, yeah. Right? We got daycare so you don't have to bring your kids on the river with you.
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
You know, that's the best. Right? Because they're too young. You're like, we want to go have fun without the kids. Right? That's what camps are for, right? That's why people send their kids to camp.
So we're going
That's what Ralph and I said when we were
skydiving
retired. We want to have fun without
Going
the kids,
skydiving
right?
next.
Oh, yeah. Right? You do the vacations that, you know, the kids can do. Like, oh, let's go on the Disney cruise. Let's do this. Let's do that. And then, you know, when they get older, that's when you send them away. That's what my parents did.
This kind of stuff is cool though. I and stuff like this is great.
Oh, yeah. Right, super cool. Especially to get, there are some people that, you know, they compare it to the coolest things, right? I've had a family come up and they're just like, listen, or some dad came up to me and was like, listen, like that, this is like, there are 3 cool moments in my life. This is one of them. The other 2 are getting married and having kids. And I'm just like, that's so cool that like, that is what, you know, you have like compared it to.
Oh yeah.
Right? And it's just like I'm glad that I could make that moment, you know, happen.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
You know, it's cool to be like, yeah, like, cool, I get paid to do this, whatever, like,
Right.
not that. I just get to take you guys down a roller coaster that you know, guys aren't seatbelted in, you know? It's so much fun.
Hey there.
That was crazy.
That was a good one.
That was crazy. We're not even to the big stuff yet. Oh, whoa, Tug, dude. Tug, man, you got to put them to get their helmets on, dude. He just shimmered my eyes away. That is a buffed out head.
Told me.
You caught me on the shimmer. You caught me.
He told me I couldn't get his hair wet. So I was like,
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, you know, sit up front. It'll go right by him. That's why you're faster than us right now, just more aerodynamic.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So town of Brooklyn is over here on the left. The guy that owned the Brooklyn mine had a really
Right, if you guys like
good
history,
way of
just listen.
enticing people to come and live in his town. When a lot of people came from Europe, you know, somebody had told them when you get to New York and you go to check in at Ellis Island, go to Brooklyn and find my cousin Guido. He's got a fish market, you know, on 42nd Street. Got some apartments upstairs at Fish Market. You can stay there until you get established. And so these folks were like, cool. So they go to Ellis Island, they go to become naturalized citizens, and they come out the other side of Ellis Island, and there was a bus on the other side that said free rides to Brooklyn. And it gave them a free ride to Brooklyn, West Virginia.
Right, you guys got to hear the start of that story?
Had no money.
Right, yeah. They just get, you end up in the gorge, and there's no way out of the gorge, other than the coal mine. Right, you just got to work the coal mine.
Yeah, right?
Callie, are you the only girl in that boat? I just realized.
Right?
She feels
It's
pretty
quality,
honored right
not
now.
quantity.
She feels really honored.
Quality, not quantity.
That's what my job says.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, Ace is all about quality in their guides. No, I'm kidding. They're about quantity. Right, I think every job should say quality over quantity more. We got so much waste.
So how far up is the road? You said that.
Right, so there is, where is that boat ramp? There's a road literally right up in the trees.
Wow.
Maybe 15, 20 feet off the shoreline.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that'll go all the way down to Kennard. You'll see some steps and kind of some more man-made features down here once we get past this rapid. That's kind of the start to the New River Gorge. It's kind of the last place where you can get in and get out where it's really easy.
Huh.
Until the gorge ends, you know, when we finish our trip.
So Dad, we going skydiving next?
Don't worry, I got it. You haven't been skydiving before?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, have you been skydiving?
Yeah.
What do you think like the hardest part about skydiving would be?
Jumping.
Well, guess what?
Pulling your parachute.
They do it for you. You're attached to it. I literally, like, me and my mom went skydiving. She waited until I was 18. She wanted to do it. She was like, you're signing your own way. That's how that works. I went, yes, ma'am. So she paid for me, right? We did it for my birthday and like Mother's Day. And like, we're both not nervous and we get in the plane and I'm just like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to jump. And the guy just looks at me and goes, boy, I'm already clipped into you. I'm gonna jump for you. So you got no say in the matter. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that's cool then. Sweet, let's go skydiving. And it was like, it was more of like I realized I'd never have been in a plane where the door opened, you know?
Yeah.
Right, we were going up,
Yeah,
I guess they have like a, they had like a quick trip, right? You pack your own chute, you pay like $10. And on your way up to 10,000 feet, right, they'll open the door and you can just jump out at 6,000 and pull your chute, so it's just like a quick jump. But just super cool. They just opened the door and this guy was like, you guys have fun skydiving, and just jumps. And I was like, oh my God, I've never been in a plane where the door opened.
Yeah.
And that's the second it gets real. You're like, whoa. But you don't have any time to think about it when you jump. Like they say, try to make your heels touch your butt and then just like do this, right? Just so like, you're just in like one position and then they kind of move you.
Mm-hmm.
But then he pulled my arms out and started doing this. We probably had like 30 seconds of free fall, maybe less than that. But he's holding my arms and he's like does this, and then we start like, he's like holding mine and doing it. We start spinning back sideways. But the coolest part, they gave us our own altimeter. So he was like, I'm gonna tap your shoulder at 7 grand, like at 7,000 feet. And then you have about 6 seconds to pull the chute. If you don't pull the chute, I'll pull the chute, right? But he's like, I want you guys to pull it. That's a cool thing for you guys to do. So like I reached back and found the golf ball and pulled it, so I got to pull my own chute.
Hell yeah.
I got to control it a little bit. It was way cooler than I thought it was gonna be.
Wow.
I thought it was gonna be over just like that, but it was so cool to be that high looking at stuff. That is cool. You guys, we're coming up on Big Baloney. It's called Big Baloney because the people that flipped at Surprise the first time they found it, you know, ended up finding their bologna sandwich down here. Right, if you guys end up swimming on this one, you guys just want to swim to the right and come back to the boat. Callie, let's hold on to that T-grip. There you go. Let's sit ready, guys. And 3 forward. And 3 more. Go 2 forward. 2 more. Woo! Whoa! Yeah. All right, there's a little splashdown.
I know you guys ate it.
Go 3 forward. Right, so guys, that's our 2 class 3s before lunch. Nice and fun ones. Right at the end of this pool on the right, we're gonna eat lunch at what we call Man's Creek. It's our overnight campsite, right? So we do some overnight camping for people too. They're on those later trips. So right, they'll kind of do more of a stretch of river than we did this morning. They'll go upstream. Maybe they'll be in some duckies, right? Those inflatable kayaks. They'll come on down all the way down to here, set up their campsite. Right, they'll from Kennard, which is on the left over here, they'll drive all their gear down and just take it down. Yeah, right, there's a tent. That's somebody's private tent. Pretty sweet spot to be right on top of that rock.
Yeah, just make sure you don't have any, you don't walk in the street.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That would just, you know, walk a little bit too far to pee at night, you just end up in the water. Right, but overnight trips are super cool, but we'll be eating right across from where those half-day trips put in, right? Or at lower water, right? This is where we actually put in too. Because at lower water, this section just gets a little bit slower, and we can give you guys that 4 to 5 hour trip, but with a little less mileage. But you kind of can play around on the river a little bit more because there's more features. Let's go 3 forward for me.
You're definitely right on the water. Wow.
Yeah, there's another tent too. There's an orange one. A little pavilion. Looks like they're camping, hanging out. That water definitely pretty close to their campsite.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, I'm kind of going to talk about some things that you guys are going to want to know after lunch. Right, I'm going to talk about it now. That way it's kind of a refresher later. Make sense?
Yep.
Right, so you guys already know how to forward paddle. Right, you guys killed that. Let's go 3 forward for me. Right, you guys are basically already professionals at forward paddling. Right, we're going to do some back paddle in a second. Right, you guys kind of did some of that at Jump Rock. We're going to see how good you guys are at that. Kind of work our way backwards. Right, so let's go all back for me. Woo! And stop, perfect. We don't need to train that anymore. You guys already killed it. Right, where you guys already know that if you end up out of the boat, which way's right?
That.
Yeah, no, this way.
Oh no, that, yeah.
There we go, right?
You're other right.
Right, exactly. That's why we're re-going over it. Right down here, if I say lean in, what do you think lean in means? Yeah, you lean right into the boat. What do you think get down means? Get down means get your booty in the floor of the boat. Really get as low as you can in the boat. Does that make sense?
Oh.
Right? Especially when I say lean in and get